Yo, bro.
Yo, bro.
Yo, bro.
And it's been a while.
Doesn't hit the same with that mic, Abe. I'll be honest.
I'm sorry. You know, the mobile command center's got its downsides.
That's all right. Get
Disgusting,
real
but-
in there. Get real in there. Give us one.
Yo, bro.
All right. That's not bad, man. What's up?
Living the dream. Don't wake me up. How about
Like
that?
Evanescence?
I know of the band, but what's exactly the reference?
Wake me up.
Wake me up inside.
Yeah,
Dude.
You got it. You got there.
So,
Featuring Paul
my-
McCoy and the 12 Stones.
dude, my trainer, half of what me and my trainer talk about now is all the angsty music.
Love that.
And sometimes we go to the desk and we start changing stuff. Dude, we were on Creed today. We had
Oh.
Creed blasting the whole gym. Dude.
Almost breath.
Bro, I was
The news today.
Hold me down.
with is that even a song?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I'm
It's
6 feet. I'm
6 feet.
from
One last
here.
breath is technically what it's called. I think.
Mhm.
No, but so the song. Why do I hear double? Is it Abe? Is it me? I don't care.
It's a
As long as I'm not
It's me.
broadcasting double. So real quick, and then we'll get into it. I know you guys might not be lifters in the chat. You should be though. We were at the gym and I was doing lunges, 50s in each, dude. 50s in each, and doing 12 steps, right? And this was mid workout, so it was brutal. And Creed with Arms Wide Open came on, and I decided I didn't wait for the chorus. I waited for the bridge because I needed a little bit more time.
Mm.
And it was as soon as the bridge started. So let's go there. Dude, it was perfect. I rapped at the end of the chorus. It was the
Did you take that lift higher? Is that what you did? Took that weight
yes, I
higher?
did.
couple extra reps, man. Power
and
music.
And then I looked in the mirror and I was like, damn, this shirt is fire. Because I went through a little transition. You know how I used to like it hugging and all that stuff.
Oh,
This semi hugs the sleeves. If you can see down there, it's semi hugs, but from the side, dude, fuck it.
oh
You
yeah.
look strong. You look strong.
It's the shirt.
That's
Bye.
not all the shirt. Come
Bye.
on, give yourself some credit.
Mark your
Great
merch
shirt.
now.
Best shirt. Everyone says it. It's the greatest
You
shirt.
didn't say it, but I heard. I'm hearing them say it
People
for
say
sure.
it.
People
People
do be
do
saying
say
it.
it.
Yeah.
Tremendous material. But yes, anyway, great shirt, great lift. I
All the
feel
best
really good.
factories,
And
none
it
of which
wasn't
are in the
made
United States.
It wasn't made in China, or maybe it was. We don't know.
It was probably made in China.
All right,
Dang
we're
that.
gonna cross the line soon if you guys keep it up. So, relax.
You gotta be careful.
about
You
you
get that
guys?
shirt tariff. That's a fact, brother.
How you feeling? How's everyone feeling? We ready? We ready for a good episode?
I'm feeling great, dude.
Dude,
Feeling fantastic.
good.
Started my
You know
day
what?
at 3.
What? Oh, Jesus.
How you doing?
All right, good for you, dude.
Wasn't intentional, but that's life.
There's a saying, or not a saying, it's a tip. When people ask how you doing, the best response, unbelievable, because that could go either way.
Yep, that's great.
Either way.
And most people just assume it's the way they want, and that's
Yep.
the beauty of it. Trust me, I'd be hitting
Little
the
they know I'm dying inside.
unbelievable. You gotta throw it out there. You know, I use that one a lot during like conventions and stuff. I'll be talking to somebody and they'll just be yapping about who knows what. Unbelievable, bro.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
And they're like, oh, really? Dude, that's great. Let me keep talking. I'll make it even more unbelievable.
No, the other one. I'll see you later. Oh man.
Anyway, everyone's good. We feeling good. We ready for a wonderful episode?
Feel great.
Locked in.
Well, what do you say we
Locked in.
jump into it, dude?
All right. Well, as usual, when we start these off, we got some angry gamers this week, some fearful gamers this week. So I think we should roll the clip.
Roll clip. What mad about?
Well, this one hits close to home at this podcast.
Yes,
'cause this
insight.
is going after.
I don't know what that was, dude.
That's probably the mic. I'm going to blame the mic.
You're good. You're good.
You know, we have a darling studio on this podcast, and that is the lovely folks over at FromSoft. And there are rumors and speculation going around that Sony is in the process of purchasing a company called Kadokawa. and why that's a big deal. In addition to having like manga and anime and other stuff that they own the rights to, which supports Sony's acquisition of Crunchyroll, they also own. Yeah, I don't know if it's hentai. I hope it might be.
Sony bought Crunchyroll?
Yes, they did.
Is it still free or no?
I don't know.
Crunchyroll's been a sub for a long time.
Oh yeah. No, it totally was. You're right.
Well, the problem though now is that Kadokawa, unbelievable, owns. They own a 70% stake in FromSoft. Sony also already owns an additional 14% of FromSoft, with the other ownership going to Tencent. It was also a minority owner.
Yeah.
That would mean though that if they do acquire Kadokawa, that gives Sony an 84% ownership stake in the studio. And I don't know how everyone else feels about Sony Gaming and their studios, but with two recent big blunders, the first of which I'll mention is the game Concord. I don't even think I need to say more. Nope. They peaked at like 70 concurrent players. It was a disaster. And then prior to that, Helldivers 2, which had some really good initial strong success, that till Sony came in and required Sony account management to go through, and it bricked it from being played in a lot of countries, and they just brought a ton of just ill will and negativity towards the game and a lot of backlash as a result of their actions.
Which
so they're now
they've now doubled out on. They are confirming, yes, you're going to need PSN to play the games that we're saying you need PSN for, regardless of whether these countries can participate, which is crazy. So that would also mean that potential Soulsborne titles will require PSN and only be playable in certain countries now, which would be a giga injustice to the gaming industry, as one of the only studios still putting out actual AAA or even quadruple A games. Some people are saying that.
Well, and you nailed it right there. That's it, right? That's what everyone's afraid of. This is one of probably, I would say, two studios that are currently in high standing with most gamers out there. I would say this and Larian are probably the two that people respect right now. And with this acquisition potentially going through and the ramifications of that, people are worried that we're going to be down to one. Yeah. And I will leave the floor to you at this point.
Don't sleep on Rockstar, man. GTA 5 2025, son. They only make bangers. That's just once a decade. That's fine. I don't give a shit, dude. I'll buy GTA 5 6 times, dude. They're gonna put it out on everything. It's gonna be console, and then it's gonna be PC. Then you're gonna be able to play it on your refrigerator, then your toaster. It's gonna be sick, dude. Especially if you have Abe's toaster. I think it's fancy.
Yeah, dude. You'll be able to. The controller comes right up on the screen.
Love that.
Don't they make Red Dead as well?
That's correct.
So that's also once a decade?
Yeah. I mean, I played the first. I played the first. Red. What was it? Something Revolver? No,
Red Dead Revolver.
Red Dead Revolver. Then Red Dead Redemption.
Thinking of the band.
Then RDR2. What?
You're thinking of the band, dude. It's Velvet Revolver.
Velvet Revolver is a banger. They got some serious heaters. Slither? Yeah, that's them, right? Yeah, that's nice.
So
that's their main song.
It was 8 years between RDR1 and RDR2.
Yeah, I was a child. I mean, like, I was having sleepover at homies' houses, not driving when I was playing that. We rented that from Blockbuster, deadass. That was a weekend rental for the first Xbox. Was Red Dead Revolver. Awesome.
What would happen?
Red Dead Revolver was 2004.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, you're old, bro. What would happen when you rented a video game from Blockbuster and it didn't work? Would they be understanding?
I never had one. Didn't work. What do you mean?
Me neither.
Well,
Me neither.
I think they quality. I think they did some testing. They would like boot them, make sure they check the scratches, all that good stuff. Bada bing, bada boom. Blockbuster quality assurance on the games, I felt like was pretty good.
Yeah, I guess they probably, when they get returns, they throw them in to see if they work off the rip anyway.
Yeah, I mean, they were used to doing it because they had to rewind the VCR tapes once upon a time.
Dude, if you saw what I did to Nooch's GTA, oh my gosh, they would have never reaccepted that game to Blockbuster if it was a rental. Well, my Xbox got the red ring while his game was in it.
Yeah.
And Dad just carves a freaking hole around the disc.
I wonder if you could have tried, though. That would have been an avenue to replace it, right?
It would have been an avenue to replace it. I didn't try. They might have been gone. They might have been gone by then, dude. It was Xbox 360. Blockbuster? I don't know.
What are you thinking? The OG Walmart swap?
I don't know about. I mean, there was definitely many
Everybody know about the
stores
Walmart swap.
we could have tried to swap. I didn't even think of that, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. So let's get back on. So Sony is buying what exact company? FromSoft or the company that owns FromSoft?
Yeah, exactly.
The company that owns FromSoft, correct.
Mm-hmm. Spooky. Here's the thing, though.
Okay.
If Miyazaki doesn't get what he wants, he's not going to make bangers. He's going to go find someone who will make bangers. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I'm less concerned about this because he is the guy. He's like the kind of artist who, A, has earned the right to be that guy who's like, listen, I got a vision. Let me do my thing. You know what I mean? And any studio in their right mind is going to be like, you're right. You got the track record. Everything's hot heat. So
are the studios in their right minds?
None. No, not any of them, especially not Sony. So
all right, so there we go on that.
Yeah, that is unlucky.
My next thing would ask you when companies get acquired, sometimes they have stipulations where they need people to stay on for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
So if he's locked up, but still he can't produce anywhere else, but doesn't want to produce in this company,
Possibly.
then there's going to be a down period in his whole locked up.
I would have to assume that he has something. He's a solid agreement for himself. I would assume that he's earned that at this point. You would hope. You would certainly hope.
Technically, since they're acquiring the parent company to FromSoft and not FromSoft directly, I don't know if what Sony's negotiating power there is on the FromSoft contracts himself. Because once again, Kadokawa owns a bunch of stuff, and there's a lot of anime and stuff like that they're also really acquiring this for. So, to lock the whole agreement down on his contract would probably be very risky.
Well, it would definitely heavily be, what is that contract? And how valid and how many loopholes does that contract have? The FromSoft and the, what is it, Kawasaki?
Kadokawa.
that contract is going to be very,
to
very
be fair,
important.
Kawasaki makes everything. So
yeah, right.
Could have been.
They make Abe's toaster.
That's true.
That contract
it's actually a two-stroke, just like Abe.
That contract is going to be very important in this deal.
Yeah,
if it holds up or not. But then it's also like funding, like certain stipulations have to be met or conditions have to be met to even get funding to make your games. They could withhold funding. It could be ugly, dude. It could be very ugly.
I will tell.
Freaking ugly, dude.
You know what?
Have published some FromSoft titles in the past very successfully, Sony. So if they keep the relationship in that regard, then maybe that's positive.
To instantaneously put the kibosh on gamers being angry, can I bring up something positive?
Absolutely. Please do.
Supervive launched into open beta today, and its level of polish and instantaneous fun was something that I haven't experienced since the launch of Valorant. I think that's probably the last title that I played that was like a comp game that felt really good right off the rip. And obviously they've been doing closed testing for a long time. I've been talking on my channel about what its original title, which was Project Loki before it had a real title. Now it's Supervive. But it's officially in open beta today. It's 24/7 until season 1 launch. So it's out essentially, and it's free to play, right? The microtransactions are all cosmetic based, and they are hilarious. Level of humor with like what they have put into the game is so good, so funny. The skins actually look really nice and are like really cool. 100%, I'm getting paid to play the game right now. Full disclosure, not getting sued here. I am currently getting paid to play the game. I was so excited to play the game. My contract said I had to play 3 hours today. I played 6, I think. We have a lot more to come also over like the next couple of days. So But yeah, I'm gonna far exceed my contract. Game's just genuinely fun. Highly recommend giving it a shout. Free to play game, you know, why not? Jump in there with some homies. It's duos and squads. Essentially, if you have no idea what the game is, it is a MOBA BR. So it's top-down ISO cam, kind of like League of Legends, which is MOBA style, but it is WASD movement. So you're not clicking around the map, which is one thing that people really dislike about MOBAs because it's just not natural to them.
That's why I never got into League.
Yeah, and I understand.
Other reasons.
It feels
like women.
Yeah, right. The warmth of another body. Yeah, I hear you. I get you. But listen, I was playing League before I was feeling warm bodies. You know, it's been a while. The game's been out a minute.
Oh gosh.
So that being said, it is WSD movement, which feels really good. A lot of skill shots, a lot of that kind of fun. Battle Royale style, like zones coming in, got to be the last team standing. It's duos and it's quads. So really good time. Caught some dubs today. More dubs tomorrow.
Yeah,
check out that VOD too. That was a really cool broadcast because you had the combined chat feature that you tested out in Twitch.
Yeah, that was cool.
It's combined.
Really cool.
It's combined streams. I don't even think it's just chat. It's like more. It also shows other analytics. Like it also shows other names under the stream. It's like it's actually pretty cool. I was talking to Markstrom earlier about that.
I know a guy who consulted for that feature.
Oh wow. Okay. I'm glad they listened. What about also the one note on that, and it was supposed to be your day off. So the fact that you did play more than 3 hours, like you definitely like the game. Because if it was dog, then you probably would have been like, all right, 3 hours.
Hey guys, thanks so much to the homies over at Sea Revive. We really appreciate the support. Deuces.
Yeah. Great game. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Something else.
But that's cool, dude. I'm excited because I know you try games often and they're not always, you know.
I mean, listen. People who watch my stream know that when I try a game, the odds of me enjoying it are under 10%. There's a lot of return roulette these days. That means I'm playing the game less than 2 hours and we're rolling the dice. And when that time's coming up, you know, sometimes you're leaning towards, I'm good. I'm never playing this again in my life.
100%.
Yeah. 100%. But that's really not, I'm going to be honest, man. It's partially a me thing because I value my time, but it's also partially just an industry thing. A lot of the games are just not up to snuff. But yeah, just really impressed with this. Thought I'd give it a shout because they earned it.
Good. I'm glad. I'm not sponsored by them, but you know, that's all good. I'm glad it was good, and I'm glad everyone was enjoying it. That's always fun to see. I was working from home today. You were on my monitor up there all day. It's like, this guy's playing League. It literally looked like League. I was like, is he playing like a new version of League or something? What's going on here?
It's very colorful.
Yeah. And I saw you like jumping islands too. I was like, whoa.
Gotta be careful. If you jump from island to island, if anyone deals damage to you while you're mid-jump, dead. Right to the ground.
I seen it. I seen you go down a few times.
All right. I saw me win a game. Abe, I got a clip for you. We're playing it on the... It's fine. But my first dub ever, I did... I knew where the other team was rotating from. I said, just chill here. They're coming over this. They came over, mid-jump, hit them one time. They both fell. Game over. W.
Did you take any of your League like insights and you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I mean it is like semi-applicable just because the game. You know what? Actually, I would say it required more BR knowledge to make the right decisions. Right, to know not to get third party, to always work the outside of the zone, to not be the team that's getting pinched. Like all those things really matter. Making sure that you're moving ahead of time, all that good stuff. Or like to zone guard, right? Like I was just talking about, because you know teams are rotating in from certain places. Also, just sound is really good in the game, so like you can hear directionally where teams are coming from, which is really dope. For like a MOBA, like that's something that you're not usually used to. Yeah, so you can hear. There's fog of war, but you can hear, which is a big advantage for someone like me. So that it was a lot of fun in that sense. The MOBA side of things is really just being able to like move my character and then skill shot at the same time. You know, that's not super easy. You get used to it, and a lot of it is just like knowing you have basically 4 moves. They all have cooldowns. You're trying to put together a build. It's just very RPG-ish in that sense. So like I was like a damage dealer, and my main thing was cooldown reduction because my abilities are really good. I want to use them as often as possible. Pretty straightforward. Nothing crazy.
Understood.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good stuff, dude.
Yeah.
So yes, I appreciate that segue into something happy. I love happy stuff, dude.
Try and
God,
shout it out when I can, bro.
We always talk about what gamers are mad about and angry about, and they're always mad. Always mad.
Every once in a while, it is what are gamers happy about. No, we don't change the clip, but there are times where they are happy about something.
We'll get Jim on that.
All right. Well, what do we got next, dude?
Well, I'm not. This one's not very happy, so I apologize. We're going the other direction. This one was interesting to me. It's a very hot topic right now, and it's very all over the place.
It's hot, dude. That's hot.
But essentially, right, we had the U.S. Senate came out and went after somebody I think that we're very familiar with here. That's Gabe Newell.
Oh, you dare come at Gabe?
Who the heck is
Correct.
that?
He created Steam. He created Valve.
Yeah, I know.
He's like the Godfather. Oh, okay.
Markstrom.
Well, the U.S. Senate came out after him because there was a recent ADL report, which is the Anti-Defamation League, that basically claimed that Steam communities were harboring extremism, anti-Semitism.
Oh my God! Of course they were.
So when this came out, there was all this research that they did, and now the U.S. Senate's putting pressure on Gabe to make changes to Steam to stop harboring these communities. But it's not quite as simple as this report would indicate, because when you actually dive into the data that they're talking about, now you have to remember, Steam is huge. It's used all over the world. There are millions of Steam communities. So they had a group that went through over 458 million profiles, 152 million avatars, 610 million comments, right? Which were all generated by over like 2.9 million different Steam communities. And what they found was there was 1.5 million in all of that unique uses that they classified as hate imagery or speech. And that was generated by a total of 72,000 Steam groups. So when you break that down, it actually shows you that this small Steam group accounting and all this stuff, it's actually less than a fraction of a percentage of all Steam groups that are impacted by these allegations of hate charges. When you look further into that, it really results from, and I'll bring a chart up in a second, the usage of a meme.
This shit pisses me off so much, man.
People that are unfamiliar with the Pepe the Frog meme, it is a meme that is used all over the internet, and
including in my emote set because it means nothing.
Correct. Well, and the ADL agrees though, Mark, because I did some research on my own here and looked up their definition of Pepe the Frog and why it constitutes as hate speech. And this is what the ADL had to say. The majority of uses of the Pepe the Frog have been and continue to be non-bigoted. However, it was inevitable that as the meme proliferated in online venues such as 4chan, 8chan, and Reddit, which many have users who delight in creating racist memes and imagery, a subset of the Pepe memes would come into existence that centered around racist, anti-Semitic, or other bigoted themes. So basically, by their own admission, this is a harmless meme that sometimes people do some racist stuff with.
Dude.
Furthermore,
okay, go ahead.
That's like saying Pepe in a wizard hat is suggestive of witchcraft. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same thing, man. Makes no sense.
So furthermore, when you look at this $1.5 million uses of hate or extremist symbols in Steam, and that's where I'm going to bring up this chart for you. All right, 55% of that is Pepe the Frog images. Okay. So we're talking about 500,000 of the 1.5 million,
so
right?
Of the fraction of the percent, under half of them were not Pepe.
Yes. When you also include the fact that another 9% of them are a mask that is used on a character in Rainbow Six Siege, that has like a skull and stuff on it, it's referred to on this chart as the siege mask, you'll see that after that, you're talking about 40% of this sub fraction of percentage are actual hateful images. When you look at that even further, a lot of it has to do with Nazi symbolism. You have to remember that Steam has a lot of games on it, like Wolfenstein and some of their older World War II themes and things like that, that actually contain Nazi soldiers and things, right? So
yeah, and
even though that
swastikas
stuff
all
is
throughout the game.
And how about
correct,
Call of Duty Nazi Zombies?
All of it.
Exactly, all of that stuff
Great,
is
great game, dude. Love it.
Yeah,
Killed
Return to
Nazis.
Castle Wolfenstein is one of my favorite games ever, and I'm still mad because my brother got nightmares at the monsters in that game, told my parents, and then my parents made us uninstall it from the family computer, and I couldn't play it anymore.
That's fine, dude. Little brother.
I can't let it go. I'm still upset.
Shit happens.
So at the
Son
end of
of
the
a
day,
bitch.
right? So once again, 0.0029%. That's the amount of hateful content that they were able to dig through and locate. So if you take that, essentially, it's like, I don't know, 0.14% is attributed to actual hateful content. We take out the siege mask and Pepe the Frog, and of that, almost all of it is Nazi symbolism. So,
And to be fair, let me just throw this out before you wrap this up.
yeah,
We're far from rapping, bro.
Rainbow Six Siege, man, I've played that game. Those players are racist. I just want to throw that out there. I haven't had a lot of time in that game, but like 98%, I was seeing some shit. So just for clarity. So the fact that they have their own section that's just called Rainbow Six Mask that checks out. That's all I'm saying. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
well, it just, to me, right, the ultimate question is Steam fostering hate and extremism? And I think the answer, when you really look at the data, is clearly no, they aren't.
Or even if you half-ass look at the data, that's the same conclusion, actually. Absolutely crazy to go after my boy Gabe. And here's the thing. If I've learned one thing about how much money Gabe has made from CS cases, right? And the efficacy of our government, they will never touch him. That's a fact. All right. If you just come, you'll never touch him. Don't you dare come after Gabe. All right, Slum, go ahead.
Well, boys, I'm gonna try to keep this as
Gaming related as
non-crazy I
possible.
can. Yeah. So, well, first off, this guy, you could guess what side of the aisle this guy's on. I'm not going to say which one it is, but I'm sure you could guess. Second of all, the top extremist or hateful symbols. Who's deciding that? Who is who gets to make the barometer for what hate speech is or what?
In this case, it was the ADL.
Okay, what's the ADL?
Anti-Defamation League.
Okay, all right. So
which is their tagline is a global leader in combating anti-Semitism, countering extremism, and battling bigotry wherever it happens. The ADL works to protect democracy,
which is real hot right now.
Very hot. So hot right now.
Protecting democracy by telling you can't say something. That's definitely protecting democracy. Anyway, before I go crazy on that, this is just obvious. Like I see this all the time. It's not just in gaming. It's hilarious because one, they have no freaking clue. They really have no clue. They don't understand any of the lore. They don't understand gaming culture. They don't understand comedy either. I think about Dave Chappelle way back in the day with the Chappelle Show. Anyone could get bodied. Anyone was on limits. There was no one that was off limits. Every race, any disability, it's comedy. That's me personally. That's where I think the golden era of comedy was. Anyone is off limits. You can always catch a stray.
Nobody's off limits.
Funny, yes, correct. No one's off limits. And if it's funny, it's funny. And if it's not funny, the market decides, hey, dude, it's kind of awkward because you're not funny and you're kind of just being racist.
Right.
That's literally how it works. If it's cringy, we can understand, like, you don't get it. You're just trying to be weird and racist. If it's freaking hilarious, yeah, there might have some race involved. There might have some body shaming or whatever involved. There might have whatever, but comedy is comedy. That's where I'm at. I think I don't think anything is off limits in comedy.
I think most U.S. comedians these days. I mean, there's definitely been like a shift of like standing their ground and like explaining that exact thing. I think they're pretty much all on board, and anyone who goes and sees like comedy in person, I think accepts that for the most part. Very rarely do you see someone like you get like the random clips of people being like, "I'm offended" in the audience, which is often handled in a very funny way.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Love CNOs.
And I think we can admit, right, that like the gaming communities aren't always the most PC communities. I've been called some things in Counter-Strike that I can't repeat on here.
And it's baked in, right? It's inherent because there's full anonymity.
You're anonymous.
Yeah,
Correct.
and that's all it comes down to. And people get off on other people's reactions, and if you can be anonymous and say something and get a rise out of somebody, then a lot of people are going to do that, right? Because it's a feeling of power in their life that oftentimes they don't have. Simple as. And then you add on like just kids. Just kids, you know what I mean? And so I think for this to exist in some sliver of the internet is obviously going to be a thing, right? Yeah. It's crazy to act like Steam is fostering this or like not actively removing it where it is. Like, here's the thing. Valve is so big, Steam is so big. It's the library for gaming on every PC in the world, man. Like, how much do you want them to do? Do you need them to police I couldn't imagine how they would go about policing every single community on there.
Yeah.
They wouldn't, and that's why I think, well, one, they would just shut it down, but two, but
detection.
Well, here's how the Democrats are great at a big ask, and then the Republicans have to work back. They're great at these big asks. That's what they do. And so this is like a big ask. What do you want us to do? I don't know. Maybe ban a couple people. You meet in the middle.
And my biggest thing is like, who is the ADL? What do they actually like? Yeah, like what do they actually represent? Who are they made up of?
Yep.
Who's
giving them money?
How much power do they actually have? Is like, are they a governmental body? They're like they're a random initiative from what I see.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're an agency, a 3-letter agency. Yeah. There's like 450 of them.
And like, you say a big ask? Like, what would be a reasonable? I think a reasonable ask would be that you try to make it so that less than 1% of your community content generated is hateful. Right, that's a very small percentage right there. What is
hateful?
And we're talking about we're fractions of 1% already. So what are they supposed? How do you get better than that? I don't think you can.
Yeah,
I think they're just playing the game.
Yeah, I mean, to have these numbers and then continue to pursue this, it's just virtue signaling. It's just like, we're doing our job. We're trying to crack down on the things that are bad. Smile. But yeah, I mean, there's obviously, and they're gonna do it in places where like no one else really understands, right? Because that's easier to like feed the other old people who have no fucking idea.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, of course we're gonna get caught in a crossfire as like a gaming community, man. Like, they can just say whatever to each other. No one knows what's true. Like,
no, and they're not even going to check in after this.
No, I don't care at all, dude.
How's that going? How's that initiative going?
We could implode entirely.
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
They got the racism less than 1%. That's pretty good. Good job.
Yep, there you go. Anyway, let's shift before this turns to yeah.
I just had to bring that one up because this one just cracked me up because it's
hilarious, dude. They do a lot of hilarious shit. A lot of it, on both sides, they do. It is amusing that we elect people that are this ignorant. So, what are you gonna do?
Unfortunately, I think most normal people just have no interest in a job like that. That sucks. Is what it is.
It is what it is.
I could segue us back to positive though.
What do you got?
This one's actually great. It happened today. And that would be the release of a game called Stalker 2. So the Stalker series is beloved. It actually is the birthplace, believe it or not, of our favorite game, Escape from Tarkov. It's really based on Stalker gameplay.
As
and
is
the reason
DayZ.
that this is not only is this like a great franchise and people are really hype about this and they want to play this game, and that's great. The reason this is such a big deal is that Stalker's 2 development has been in constant turmoil. I mean, this game was originally supposed to release in 2022, but then a little thing happened called the Ukraine-Russia war, and this is a Ukrainian studio. There's actually a documentary out there on this. It's very interesting, but the Stalker 2 team was a Ukrainian studio that had to flee Ukraine during the war and evacuate. Not all of their team evacuated. Some of them stayed. A lot of them evacuated to Prague. They lost a ton of their code in the process. It severely hampered their ability to continue to develop the game. They were literally, some of their studios were like getting hit by missile attacks. I mean, it's insane.
Probably had to fight too.
I'm sure
I
some
believe
of the
that is
people
the
went.
case.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all of this is going on, and it did delay the development, substantially. But 2 years later, they have released this game, and I would go out there to say that this is such a triumph for them, not only because of what we just talked about, but you have AAA studios that have none of these types of issues that exist outside of the game development, that can't even get their games out on time, and then they release piles of crap. So for Stalker to persevere through all of this, to the point that a documentary was made about them, and still get this game out, is a major accomplishment. It looks awesome. I was watching some community members play it today. A ton of people in the community were playing. I'm excited for it. I can't wait to get back out of the mobile command center to get it myself. It looks awesome, and what a triumph, in my opinion, for the Stalker studio.
Yeah, I'm stoked for them.
Can you give us some video while we talk about this?
Yeah, I can find some gameplay. Yeah.
I'm stoked for them. I'm obviously stoked for like the Stalker community. They've waited a really long time. They're definitely one of the more like diehard communities. Again, like a lot of these Eastern European survival shooters, they are definitely enhanced greatly by the modding community. And also, hardcore Stalker is very common. Like there's always been like extra difficult versions of the game, which I'm obviously very much so down with. I'm holding off right now just because, I feel like if you're a massive fan of Stalker, you want to play through it by yourself first. You want to, you don't necessarily want to watch someone else's playthrough. I want people to enjoy it, kick back, play it at your own pace. Don't feel like I'm going to spoil the game for you. I'm going to let the modding community do their thing, and we'll get some interesting, high difficulty mods. And that's how I'll jump in for the first time, probably like early next year. It's kind of the plan. We'll do something fun with it. I think that'll be the best bet for content for the stream.
I think that's solid. We've talked about that before, like when it comes to like Dark Souls and stuff. Like people have played it, they got their playthrough. Now they can enjoy watching other people play it.
Yeah,
I can totally understand that concept. I like the fact. So you said they made a documentary. Mm-hmm. That's awesome because that is also marketing, and that's also more funding coming in.
Yeah.
So I think that was very smart on however they set that up. Great play there. And one is I'd be curious to know like the extent of how much they had to redo. If they lost a certain amount of stuff, I'd be very curious to like how much did you actually have to redo, because that is the most frustrating thing ever. Along with what else is going on in their country, 100%. But to push through, redo days and days, if not months and months of work. However, maybe they when they redid it, they're like, oh, we could do this better. We figured out this could be better. That's a silver lining, but man, it is frustrating to have to redo certain things, and I'd be really curious to hear how much they had to redo. And then also, so this is Stalker 2.
Yeah.
How big was the first one?
Massive cult classic.
Massive.
Yeah, it was huge. Okay. Especially once again when we talk about modding communities and what people have done to the game after the fact. I mean, it's massive in the modding community. In addition to the fact that essentially, Escape from Tarkov is a Stalker mod. I mean, there's really no other way to say it. They based what they did off of this game. So
I would say, good for them. Congratulations. And then for Stalker 2, basically as a company. You said respect for the perseverance to push through and make it a thing. I think that a lot of times the little guys that have something to prove will do that. It also just it depends on the person or the team for sure.
Even if it's 17 years later.
Even if it's 17 years later, dude. So mad respect for them to push through, and it's got to be tough, man. It's got to be really tough. But if this already came out, Stalker 2
Today.
It came out today. It came out today.
Good feedback so far.
Community's been loving it so far. That's been my feedback that I've seen.
That's great, dude. That is wonderful. Big congratulations to the developers of Stalker 2. Awesome. Keep it up. That's what I got to say about that. What else? What else we got? You want any last notes on Stalker 2?
No, I mean that's really what I wanted to highlight. I don't know if you guys have any more comments.
I think that's wonderful. I love topics like that, dude. I love hearing a success story, especially when their backs against the wall. That's huge, man.
So this next one I got for you it involves a successful person. So there's a little bit of a success story for you here. This one really cracked me up. So there is a French billionaire. He was the founder of a telecom company called Iliad, and
Shout out Homer.
Internet service providing and things like that. Well, there is a gamer who has been playing Call of Duty in France and has been experiencing connection disruptions and lag issues in the game, and it made him so frustrated with what was going on that he actually put out this tweet, and I will read the translation for you, where it says, "Xavier Neal, I hate you, and I propose a 1v1 in front of Lido on Rue Saint in Marseille." Right? So Xavier Neal is the French billionaire who founded the telecom company that he's using for his internet service. Okay. Well, Xavier showed up. So this billionaire showed up in front of
what?
I'm assuming a fight is what he was challenging to.
No. In game. I call it like a 1v1 in game.
He didn't say in game. He just said a 1v1 in front of the Lido.
I mean, it's implied.
Is it? What are they bringing a mobile setup?
Well, he didn't. This dude just showed up, and what he tweeted there is basically, where are you, or where are you at? Right. To which the gamer responded essentially with an apology. He stated that he also couldn't come because he had a very high temperature that day and he wasn't feeling his best. And he really was just upset because of the lag he was experiencing in game. Lidl jumped into and they said, "Can someone pick up this crazy guy who's sitting in front of our store and he's been yelling for this guy to come fight him all day?" So this is like internet beef to the max, and involves this very successful billionaire who actually showed up to fight this guy over his Call of Duty lag.
I'm gonna be honest, there's no better combination of someone like a COD player, shit talk, and also simultaneously being super soft. Like that is a tale as old as time. Watching COD pros just like needlessly yell at each other like across the setups and getting all sorts of like rage fights, and then like no one does anything. Standard.
I mean, look how old this guy is. Like,
I love it.
You should be able to fight this guy.
This guy is
born of a different time.
Dude. 10 toes down. Also, if there was ever
standing on business.
Yeah. If there's ever a real action or a live action Homer Simpson thing, this guy would be for sure Mr. Burns. This guy he's got that vibe for sure, dude. And like the picture couldn't have been more perfect. Like this picture is old guy picture. Perfect.
Not the home rush shouting out, but I respect the one to the next to the next is beautiful. Yeah, I love it. Yeah. You got to keep the thread moving,
dude.
This is the perfect old guy selfie. He doesn't get his mouth.
It's not even in the photo. Yeah.
Yes, right.
So good.
Oh man,
so good. And not to mention, this guy's worth $7 billion. He could have paid someone else to show up for him, and he went himself. I mean, Mr. Burns would have sent Smithers. This dude just shows up, and he's ready to rock with this dude over an internet beef.
Whatever companies this guy is attached to, I bet you the stocks went up after this. This is hilarious. This is awesome. Good for this guy, dude.
Well, maybe that company will use some of those bonus profits to bolster their infrastructure and make their internet better. Surely that's what they'll do with it.
Like the CEO's got time to just do this.
Surely.
He's got time to fight. He's got time to fix
who would do this, dude? You know who would also do this? My boy Elon.
Elon, the same guy who's been ducking that fight for the last like 6 years.
Zuck?
Yeah, with Zuck.
Is he ducking it?
He's been ducking it for 6 years, man.
Damn, Elon, what are you doing, bro? You got me freaking looking like a fool over here.
He just
Come on.
he doesn't want to put in the training. Listen, Zuck is too far ahead now. Zuck would, yeah, it's not, it's no longer like a cool, fun thing because Zuck trained immediately when it was like a thing, and Elon was like, yeah, we'll do it. But then, you know, didn't.
In Elon's defense,
he's trying to go to Mars.
Zuck could send a cyborg that to fight that got wearing Zuck's skin, and you would not be able to tell the difference.
That's true. Plus, who knows what kind of reptile strength he's got? You know what I'm saying? Them gators strong, dude. Just saying.
So be careful who you call out on the internet, people. They might actually show up to fight you, regardless of if they're a 75-year-old man.
All right, I think we got one more. What do we got?
Yeah, so this one, I like my PSAs, and this one's a shout out to the community. Be careful of something because there's a scam going on right now. It's a tried old scam of porch piracy, right? Stealing stuff that gets delivered to houses. However, it's been upgraded because what folks are now doing. They are able to. They've somehow these thieves have infiltrated AT&T's tracking network, right? So what they're actually doing is they're using AT&T's data and tracking software to locate where cell phones are being delivered to. And AT&T is one of a few companies that does not have a policy that requires you to sign for your phone upon delivery. So they are showing up and stealing the phones at the delivery, tracking it through AT&T's data provider.
Not ideal for items that are over $1,000 these days.
Correct. And it's not even that. It gets worse than that. So I saw a video for this as well. UPS or whoever is also shipping them, this one did require a signature. A guy ordered 3 phones, and the UPS guy was waiting for the signature. Well, the guy was shaking the box. He's like, I got to make sure because the boxes are coming with no phones in them right now.
Jesus.
And the guy goes to open it. He's like, well, now the UPS guy's like, I can't do anything now. Like, you just open the box. And I'm sitting there like, what are you supposed to do then? Like, who do you take that up with? Because UPS, once you open the box, like, it's yours now.
Right.
But it must have gotten, like, where did they intercept that UPS is still delivering an empty box?
Yeah, in a shipping facility.
Also, is that a way to bypass UPS's signature requirements? Because you feign that you're checking the box, open it, and now it's yours. You don't have to sign for it.
Correct.
Yeah, so now you could just steal it that way.
No. It's basically if he's watching you open it, that's a signature.
You accepted delivery.
Oh, okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's the guy that's getting the delivery supposed to do? Like, I'm not signing for this if it's empty.
Right.
But but I can't even check the box. So I'm
up,
wondering who is. Yeah, but the iPhone boxes are already heavy in itself.
Yeah.
I'm sure, and they might put a stone in it or something, a piece of metal.
I will tell you, I love their packaging. If I could just say too, that box is heavy because it's the packaging and unveiling of an iPhone is pretty sick. It's a fun experience.
It just slides out. Dude.
AT&T,
now imagine you go through all that though, and it's empty. Yeah, AT&T. So I mean, I'm not. We're not paid,
an AT&T guy.
By Verizon. We're not paid by Verizon. Everybody, this is not a big Verizon podcast or anything. But maybe don't use AT&T as your network because you're not getting your $1,000 phone.
Or maybe just go into the store.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm not a phone orderer. You know what I mean?
I want to leave.
They're too expensive. They're too expensive now.
With it, already got my contacts and everything. I'm leaving the store with my phone.
Yeah. I hear you. Though I think the last time I went in, they actually didn't have it. I did have to get it ordered and it had to get shipped. But I think it got shipped to the store and then pick up. So that's another safe way to do it.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's, I like my PSAs when I hear that there's a scam going on out there and we can help our people, and it's technology related. So be careful, folks. If you're getting your AT&T phone.
Bro, I'm getting called every day by some person who's posing as someone from my bank, bro. Every day.
Do they sound Italian? Because our buddy just got hacked by the Italians. And he had to change everything, dude. Everything. And then as soon as he told me about it, I got a call from a French person. Like, hey, with the company? I'm like, I've never spoken to you in my life.
Is
Nor
Mike
do I
Tyson
think,
French? I felt like that was.
nor do I think you work at Subaru or anything that I'm doing right
Yeah.
now. Never met you.
The reality
that's-
is just never give information to anyone who calls you. That's all you can do. And
or
if
the
you think that
texts.
there's actually anything, yeah, never respond to a text anyway. But
No.
if there's a problem, you then go find the right number for the company. You call them
Mhm.
and then sort it.
And it not
And
in an email.
99.9% of the time, they're going to tell you, yeah, we have no idea what you're talking about.
Yep.
Okay. Have a good day.
If you get an
Yep.
email, I got an email the other day. It was like, we're trying to send you your 800 Ethereum, but PayPal locked you out. The PayPal logo was like all skewed. I was like, there's no people fall for this stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People click the button and it's like, oh, they're trying to give me 800 Ethereum. I don't remember ordering it, but yeah, I'll take it.
Scammers almost got my mom a couple weeks ago. They called her and pretended to be the police and said that she didn't show up to jury duty and had come with the bail money down to the thing. Luckily, my dad knows a couple state troopers because he does fishing licenses out of the shop he works for. Called them. They told him he didn't have
So
she did not have a warrant out for her arrest.
Where did they
And I
want her
to-
to take the bail money? In person somewhere?
They were telling her to bring it down. They told her to bring it down to an actual police station. So they kind of told him better. That's probably yeah. Meet us there. That's a great idea. Why don't you meet us at the police station?
That's not a bad scam, actually. Just pop open a little office and pretend you're something. That's an extra layer of credibility. It's like, don't send it. Do not send it over the phone. Come into the office. We got one right down the street. Do not do this. I'm just
Also-
saying, I respect game. That's an extra level right there.
Just a PSA to everyone on that one: you don't have to pay bail money until you're actually arrested. So that's when my mom called me and I was like, yeah, you don't pay bail before you get arrested. They arrest you.
There's an
first.
order of operations
you
there
post bail.
that wasn't quite right.
Just don't pay
Yeah.
bail. That's it, dude. End cash bail.
Just stay in jail.
All right, so I think, dude, you see this? See this? I'm getting better, dude. I've taken some notes. There was a lot of good stuff today. I had a wonderful time chatting. But you know what's really exciting?
What's
I'm
that?
actually excited. I'm excited that you have a game that is enjoyable. Because I know that you enjoy that. I mean, you're gonna always show up and do the best you can either way. But very happy that you got a game that you're playing that you enjoy. But
It's good. We got another game coming out Friday, brother.
Well, tell me about what else is exciting.
Fresh, hardcore, classic. Wow, the menu is back. The boys are back in town, and the town is Orgrimmar. Zug, zug.
It's back in town.
Can I get a Locktar Ogar?
Locktar Ogar.
Nailed it. Very exciting stuff. Twitch.tv/Markstrom. If you are looking to play some hardcore classic, we'd love to have you. The only requirement to join the guild is to not be a little bitch and click that solo self-found button when you create your character. Because how else are you going to explain to everyone else in the server that you're better than them? Markstrom SSF, name of the guild, come through. Get an invite from one of the homies. You'll see us running around in there. Brand new, fresh, hardcore classic.
Love it. Hey, how about you, dude?
Well, I'll be back home out of the mobile command center next week for the episode as well. So I apologize for the mic quality, everybody. I do the best I can when I'm on the road here. But, I get flack all the time. You go on vacation, we miss episodes. I got to make sure that I'm doing this thing everywhere I can. So we are mobile now when we go to these different locations. Secondary to that, when I do get the everything up and running back on my home PC, going to check out some Stalker stuff with the community probably, but also definitely want to try and get in on Super Vibe. Maybe we can get some community games going there too. And as always, I'll be moderating the stream as you're watching for hardcore. Maybe I'll level and try and mock her all Mark 2 or something like that. We'll see. I don't know. But you can catch all of that great action over at twitch.tv/Markstrom.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Before I wrap, you guys mind if I do a little promotion?
What you got? Plug it up.
Well, as you know, you unboxed something not too long ago that was new from our coffee company, Cafe Colazzo. But here in my hands, we have a wonderful box. This is the taste tester box. So you see all 3 flavors. However, when you order more than one, it comes in this box anyway. So like yours came with all the Raven Roast. However, look at this beautiful box, dude.
Box came out so good, bro.
Boom, boom,
Yep.
boom, everywhere. We worked
Now-
very hard on. Yes.
Well, I want to ask if this is part of the theme because I know there's a lot of gaming related theme. Kind of looks like a piece of like hardware you would buy for like a computer tech, the way that box is designed.
It does.
If that was the
right?
intention, well
It
done.
was not
That's
the
sick.
intention. The intention was to fit 2 to 6 bags of coffee.
Looks like a
because
Mobo box.
We want people.
Yeah, that's what I was
Looks like a graphics card box, actually, the one that I have in my closet. So we just dropped new boxes. We also dropped a special surprise inside. So we're very, very excited about these. If you did want to purchase a box, you can use the code MSTV, and that gets you free shipping. Actually, I think you have the only code that gives you free shipping. So
Don't tell anyone. That's just
That's
between
what's up.
us.
That's what's up. And Markstrom gets helped out. Markstrom's community gets helped out. So definitely use that code MSTV when you grab a box.
Coffee people.
So I appreciate you guys allowing me to do that. The podcast is not sponsored by Cafe Colazzo. However, maybe it will be soon. This was a wonderful podcast. And what I'd like to do now is ask you, would you kindly subscribe on YouTube? Follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Leave a review, leave a comment. It really does help. We have seen some good traction on YouTube, so thank you very much. And I'd like to keep asking of you, share this channel, press the bell, and share this channel with your mom, your dad, your auntie, your uncle, the fish in the fishbowl, and the dog down the street. Because if they are scrolling through their feed and they see us, they might pop in and they might see Markstrom getting mad about Sony. They might see him talking about how, well, they messed up the last 2 games. We'll see what happens with FromSoft. And they might be like, dude, FromSoft's my favorite developer. I don't want anything bad to happen to them. Or they might hear us talk about Elon versus Zuck. We always have that
Cage match.
That debate, dude. So
UFC 300.
It really does help. And actually, I'm going to start the podcast from now on with also asking you to share this podcast in your Discords because it really does help. So I really appreciate it. You know me. I'm Slum or Dom, whatever you want to call me. And this has been a whoa. Let me backtrack. We do this podcast every week, whether Markstrom has a baby or Abe goes on vacation. And we have a great time doing it every week, and we want to share that great time with as many people as we can. So this has been a wonderful episode of the Plugged Podcast, and we will see you guys next week. Peace.
Deuces.